Yo, Hendo here, the Average Dude Slo-Pitch. Today we're bringing out the USA ASA model of the Worth Bedlam. This is a 13.5-inch barrel, XL end load, so 0.5 end load. Again, this is Phil Matt's model, our signature model here. We've already brought all the USA models, so we figured let's go ahead and bring out the USA ASA model. So we'll go ahead, we're gonna use all 52s. Obviously, the ones we use are the ZN High-Cons, so the Dudleys. That entire bag are gonna be those as well. Everything was stored inside last night, inside the house. Balls, bats, all of that. It's 65, 70 degrees out here anyway, so nice and warm. No issues there, but we'll go ahead, get about 50 to 75 swings on it, do the velo like we've been doing, come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's go ahead and test the USA ASA version here of the Worth Bedlam. This is the last of the 4 of the Bedlam line that we've got to test as of now. I've heard rumors there might be some special editions of these coming out later. I'm not sure if they're USA or USSA, but for now, the last of the 4 of Phil Matt's Bedlams. Dial it up to 0. Yes, I know it's USA ASA. We will give you the conversion in a second. But we are sitting just under 175. Let's call it 170. And for easy math, let's call it 173 because the conversion chart puts 173 at 1250. So look forward in the final thoughts. I will put up there what this has to pass at, but I do believe it's right around 1050. But so either way, it's passing now. We will make sure we have that number for you in the final thoughts. But ASA conversion puts us at 1250 starting. Let's see how it performs. I don't remember if I mentioned in the intro or not, but we're using 100% ZN High-Con ASA balls, 52-300s today. Again, 13.5-inch XL end load, so 0.5 end load, Phil Matt's Bedlam USA version. So let's see how this thing performs, and then we'll kind of come back, velo here at the end. Final compression, final thoughts.
Sounds not bad.
That's a good sound and a good feel for the first swing off a long-barreled bat.
Good pitch.
Yeah, so through the first couple swings, it's got a pretty decent sound. I know there's a lot of ASA bats out there, especially if you're used to like Monster, where you don't really get that great sound that you get, I guess, from USSA bats, whatever it might be, but pretty good feel so far. The actual sweet spot was that first line drive we saw there. Last one felt like it came off pretty close to the sweet spot. You saw right off the wall and left, so I mean, it definitely came off good, but I'm gonna guess a little bit of break-in. Sound will change a little bit. This one will really open up, but so far pretty forgiving and not a bad sound. And if you're not a long barrel fan, or even if you are, well, let me start with, if you're not a long barrel fan, so far first couple swings, it doesn't feel like it's playing like a traditional long barrel where you're getting crazy changes in sound and feel. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. If you are a long barrel fan, you've been looking for an ASA bat, this might be the way to go, because I know a lot of Monster stuff is like 12.5, if that's something that is just too short for you. Oh, you're hitting this one well. Yeah, sound was a little higher up the barrel, and you got a little bit of sound change. You could feel kind of the stiffness on the hands, but came off okay.
It's kind of surprising, man, like the way it feels. It feels good, but it's not like a feel that you're used to, you know. It's kind of different.
Yeah, it comes off good without that real stiff, like when you hit one of the bats you really like say a Monster, right? Whether it's USSA,
it just
feels almost like that wood bat, like you get that real crack feel off. That one, it comes off good, but it's almost like a trampoline.
Yeah, it's a different feel, but it's not bad. It's just, it's crazy.
That's the sweet spot, I think. Based off sound and feel, that's got to be the sweet spot there. Which ball mark puts us right on the ED of Bedlam. So, I mean, that's pretty much centered up on the barrel. Makes sense. See what happens with a little bit of break-in. Well, Junior's for sure going yard today.
All right. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's definitely the sweet spot, though. Just missing with this thing. Pretty good carry, though. Nice swing. Yeah, It's got a good trampoline. The ball's definitely carrying pretty good.
This Bedlam feels pretty good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing to knock on it.
I think the entire Bedlam lines felt pretty good. Obviously, the one piece is the best of the group.
Yeah.
The 12 and a halves. 3.5 U-trip might be the worst of the 4, and I say that lightly because it's still good.
Yeah.
It's just finding the sweet spot on those longer barrels for me has always been a little more challenging. But it's
plus longer barrels just feel different in the hands, man. Nothing against them, they're all good. But.
There's the sweet spot. Yeah, right at the base of the fence, left center.
Got there pretty.
Cut shot.
Thanks. No, all in all, man, it feels good. I mean, easy to find the barrel. I do like the sound. I mean, all in all, I'm impressed, especially for the ASA. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll jump. Yeah. One thing I will say is if you're somebody who likes like the thinner handles, order a grip when you get this as well. Whether you want to go, I know the twin tack ones we've been using a bit are pretty nice. Any of those tennis over grips, but this is a thicker grip, thicker handle. So if you're somebody who likes the thinner handles, just keep that in mind. Right off the scoreboard. Okay, so yeah, I can already feel opening up a little bit here. Between the two of us, we've probably got 30, maybe 40 swings. Again, all 52s, everything was inside last night. I mean, not that it's cold, it's 60, 65 out already and it's only going up. But anywhere from kind of the ED Bedlam up to the L seems to be kind of the sweet spot. So that translates to kind of end of the W to the R in worth. But it jumps off pretty good. If you catch the no kidding sweet spot, between the feel, sound, watching the ball, you can see that real exit velocity off of it. If you don't quite catch the no kidding sweet spot, little off, little on, it doesn't always, at least for my visual, seem like it's coming off great, but then we're still getting out to the tracker further. I mean, that last one obviously off the scoreboard, but so just give it some swings if you do buy it. Don't just come out there, put 20, 30 swings on it and think it's gonna perform like the MX monsters that have been dropping, something like that. But it's definitely forgiving, especially being that long barrel. Good feel in the hands. So far, no sting, anything like that. But we'll give it another 20, 30 swings between the two of us and then come out to velo. All right, velo real quick here again with the USA Bedlam. Just as a reminder for those that either may or not have seen like the podcast episode we talked about or a few of the videos we talked about it. But again, the purpose of the velo obviously isn't just to see how hard we can hit the ball. But for me, I've kind of found a baseline with most bats. But it's kind of to see how this sweet spot performs in comparison to a lot of those baselines. And once we find what this bat's baseline is, how the rest of it performs for the forgiveness piece. So if we're able to hit, let's just say 100 off of the sweet spot, 1, 2 times, whatever, and then the rest of the barrel's giving us 90, we know there's a decent fall off from that sweet spot. So that's what we're doing out here with that. I know we've had some questions about it. Not everyone gets to watch all the content or podcasts, whatever you want to call it, all those things. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're watching these different velos.
100 miles per hour. 81 miles per hour.
Nice.
94 miles per hour.
Right off the bottom of our batter's eye.
83 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. 82 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour. 101 miles per hour.
All right, yep, there we go. I mean, you saw velos kind of from both of us, but for the most part, I would say not only is the sweet spot good, but it's pretty forgiving. So I think 100, 101, something like that was the top speed. But either way from there, we had no real huge fall off. 94 with some launch angle, I think was the low end. So it's definitely forgiving, feels good. We'll see kind of where it finishes compression as we talked about. I will get the numbers for you as well so you know where this needs to sit. But overall, good bat, give it some swings. I really think you'll like it. All right, let's go ahead and test our Worth Bedlam now that we are complete with field swings and velo. We did look, this does need to be at 1050 on the nonlinear list, so we will make sure we are still there with this one. Dial that up to 0, yep. and it's sitting right at 160, I would call that. And what the 160 does for us is we're basically right at 1200, just under 1200. So there is a chart we use for that one. There's also an equation. So if you want to run this math on your own, you multiply that reading by 4.35 and then you add 500 to it. So we're not just using the chart. I'll even do that math for you. So 160 times 4.35 equals 696. We're going to add 500 and we're at 1196. So just under 1200. So still passing. Let's talk about more in the final thoughts. All right, and we're field swing, velo, and final compression complete here with the USA ASA Bedlam fill mat Worth Bedlam. And again, this is a 13.5-inch barrel, half ounce end load. And really for a USA model, I've noticed a lot of the bats out there get kind of a major kind of sound change, something that I haven't really quite got used to, having swung primarily USSA. But this one has a good feel and good sound to it overall. When you catch the sweet spot, you know you got the sweet spot, and then the sound changes throughout the barrel based on where you caught it, which I really like as well. You get kind of that good trampoline effect off of the sweet spot to know that, hey, yep, I've caught it, the ball's traveling well. As you saw with the velo, it does perform pretty darn well velo-wise. And then again, with what we really care about is there's not a huge drop off as you get away from the sweet spot. So it's definitely forgiving. It's going to give you a large area that's going to give you kind of that top performance, which we like to see. And then as you saw there at the end, the compression holds up just fine and it's going to last you there for a while. Again, we have probably about 100 swings on it, all 52s, Z and Hycons. But again, another good option out there for somebody who wants that bigger barrel. Maybe you don't have to BP a bunch. This thing did start pretty good. I will say though, there was a major difference right around the 50 swing mark where it seemed like the sweet spot opened up pretty good. So if you grab one of these, I do recommend BPing 50 to 100 swings and then just kind of game it from there. But that 13.5-inch barrel, if you're looking for something, especially like a team bat, or you're just kind of working on getting your swing back, something like that, it's going to be real forgiving for you, and this could definitely be the way to go, especially if you're kind of been looking. I know a lot of guys have reached out to us like, hey, it seems like a lot of the monsters are sold out. A lot of them are sold out right now or in pre-order. So if you need something now that you can use that's going to give you kind of that forgiveness piece, this may be the way to go. There are still some of these available, I think, between Worth and Headbangers. So obviously you can go to Headbangers, code ADS will save you some money here, or simply reach out to us and I'll get you kind of squared away with the best price I can, fastest shipping. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Thanks for supporting the channel.